Good morning, beloveds. I hope that you had a fantastic weekend. It was actually a really pretty weekend here. And I'm having a Monday. Yeah. I'm not firing on all cylinders yet this morning. And my cat absolutely wanted nothing to do with his meds this morning. So I spent 5 minutes chasing him, which is stressful for him and stressful for me. And finally he cornered himself in a window and just accepted it. And I'm just like, during the snowstorm, we had ordered his meds in plenty of time because he gets an ear gel. We had ordered his meds in plenty of time. And the pharmacy that delivers it to our vet screwed up. And we rationed and didn't make it through. And then, of course, everything was closed for a week. And so the vet ended up having to give us pills. He hates the pills, and I think he's still holding that against me, that he had about 4 days where he had to take pills instead of the ear gels. So this morning, he was not cooperative. But it got done. And we're going to leave each other alone now. All right, so it is March 8th. Our title is Our Right to Self-Expression. Yeah, that cat expressed himself this morning. All right. Nope. Okay. I'm sorry. Very frustrating. So, March 8th, our right to self-expression. It is right to enjoy life. It is normal and natural to desire a more abundant life. Jesus said, I am come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly. In the unity of humankind with spirit, there can be no lack or limitations. Each of us is entitled to all that our Father has. The realization that God is an infinite source is drawing upon our awakened thought, expanding our acceptance of greater abundance, and dispelling all lack. This impartation of livingness to everything is the very nature of the God who gives. Selfishness enters only when our good would exclude or hurt others. Nothing is selfish if it is done from the viewpoint of expressing the hidden splendor in all things, revealing it through all things and in all occasions. It is this more abundant life that we all seek, and that we have a right to experience it. We have a right to be filled with joy, to desire the good things of life, to expect manna from heaven, and good from every source. But at the same time, we must know that good is not for us alone. Today, I express myself with joy and enthusiasm. I want to live more abundantly, and I accept such possibility. I want to look more deeply into the heart of all people, finding there the pulsation of the heart of the universe. I want to penetrate all externals and reveal the divine presence hidden there. I know in my self-expression of the abundance of the whole, there is nothing mean or little, nothing separate from the all good. As I lift high the chalice of my hope and faith, I know it will overflow, that everything I do will be blessed, that every good I seek will be expressed through me. Everyone I meet will proclaim that God is expressing through all humanity and rejoicing in all that he does. Our Bible quote is, Ye shall eat your bread to the full and dwell in your land safely. And that is from Leviticus 26:5. And Leviticus is one of those books that people frequently use in a rather negative way. So it's nice to see that there's something a little positive coming out of it. Okay. So our right to self-expression. Yesterday we talked about individualization, our right to self-expression, and some of that has to do with authenticity. It is about being who we are. And when we say that, when we say being who we are, one of the things we want to remember is that we are children of God, that we are love incarnate. Because frequently people will say, that's just who I am. It's not a pass to be a jerk. That's not who you are. You are a beloved child of God. You are love in motion. So if you just, if you kind of shrug your shoulders after you do something that's, not very nice and say, oh, that's just who I am, you're not being authentic to who you are. We all have bad days. That is the truth. But that's one of the things that Ernest was a big believer in. And he even says it further in here. Selfishness enters only when our good would exclude or hurt others. So when we have those moments when we are jerks, because we all have them, then we are not acting as who we are. And it all comes back to, so when somebody does that to me, I like to think that my first reaction is, oh, bless your heart, in the nice Southern way, not in the other Southern way. If you're Southern, you know what I mean. It's like, you've forgotten who you are. You have forgotten that you are a child of God. So, our right to self-expression. It is right to enjoy life. It is right to enjoy life. It is normal and natural to desire a more abundant life. Don't get caught up in stuff, because abundance isn't just about stuff. Abundance is about people, and it is about emotions, and it is about just going outside and letting the sun caress your face and listening to the bird song. It isn't just about stuff. And if your life is just about stuff, then your priorities are a little skewed. I'm not saying stuff is bad. I'm just saying it's not just about stuff. Jesus said, I come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly. I'd be curious to know where that is in the Bible, because I don't know that quote. I have to go look for that. In the unity of humankind with spirit, there can be no lack or limitation. Each of us is entitled to all that our Father has. Go read the prodigal son. And don't focus on the son that left. Focus on this, what he says to the son that was there the whole time. It's like, all of this was yours the whole time. All you had to do was ask. Because frequently we walk through our lives and we never ask for what we actually want. And what is it? It can be anything. Again, not just about stuff. Today I just wanted my cat to not run away from me. But that had as much to do with my attitude as his. So let's be honest, because the more frustrated I got, the faster he ran. So that had as much to do with me as him. And I know that. I know that, which is why I had to stop and calm down, and then I was able to corner him. In the sunlight of all things. They like it too. The realization that God is an infinite source is dawning upon our awakened thought, expanding our acceptance of greater abundance and dispelling all lack. Ernest is saying there's enough for everybody. There's enough for everybody. What we have to do is realize that we're all children of God. That we are all coming from the same source. We're all one. And that it doesn't matter what our outsides look like. What our situations are. This impartation of livingness to everything is the very nature of God who gives. I mean, the creative principle of life. Everything that is living is a gift. And it comes from a source. And as a general rule, everything that we need is provided to live. And then we get caught up in the stuff. Selfishness enters only when our good would exclude or hurt others. I mean, he's got it in black and white. It's not selfish to want things, stuff. Where it becomes selfish is when you want it for yourself and you don't want it for anybody else. It's like, this is mine. Nobody else can have it. That's selfishness. But when you want what you want and you want it for everybody, then that's not being selfish. We're allowed to want things. We're just not allowed to exclude anybody. That's the nature of God. To not exclude. Nothing is selfish if it is done from the viewpoint of expressing the hidden splendor of all things, revealing it through all things and in all occasions. It is this more abundant life that we all seek, and we have the right to experience it. We have a right to be filled with joy, to desire the good things of life, to expect manna from heaven, and good from every source. We have the right to expect good from every source, but that also means we have the responsibility to provide good from our source. So when people come into our lives, then we have a responsibility to provide good. I said good, not goods. Okay? Again, it's not about stuff. When people come into our experience, then it is our responsibility as children of God to make sure that they leave our experience having had a good experience with us. Whatever it is. It's not just about stuff. It doesn't mean when somebody comes to you and asks for something, you have to give it to them. If you say no, because you are welcome to say no, you have to do it in a kind, compassionate, and loving way, so that even though you have said no, they have still had a good experience with you. I hope that makes sense. It's not just about stuff. All right. But at the same time, we must know that the good is not for us alone. What I want for myself, I want for everybody. It's the way science of mind works. And according to Ernest, that's the way God works. That's the way spirit works. Whatever good you desire for everybody. Today, I express myself with joy and enthusiasm. I want to live more abundantly, and I accept such possibility. So if I want to live more abundantly, I have to accept that it is possible. And I have to recognize it as it is around me. I want to look more deeply into the heart of all people. I want to look more deeply into the heart of all people. Is that the power you want? Do you want to be able to look into each other's eyes and see spirit looking back at you? To recognize that the person in front of you, no matter what is going on around you, is a child of God. That will change your world. If you can look at somebody behaving, let's say badly, and recognize that that is a child of God. And then your only responsibility in this situation sometimes is to hold that space for them until they can recognize that they are a child of God as well. Whew. Then sometimes your responsibility is to say, stop that. Like I did to myself when I had to stop myself from getting irritated at my cat. And I needed to sit down and calm down so that I could do what we both needed to do. All right, I want to look more deeply into the heart of all people, finding there the pulsation of the heart, capital H, of the universe, capital U. I want to be able to look people in the eye and see spirit looking back at me. I want to penetrate all externals and reveal the divine presence hidden there. Because that's what every living thing is. That is the divine presence. looking back at us, just in a material form. Is it all of spirit? No, but it is a part of spirit. I know in my self-expression of the abundance of the whole, there is nothing mean or little, nothing separate from the all good. All right. I know in my self-expression of the abundance of the whole, that's a capital W, by the way, there is nothing mean or little, nothing separate from the all good. So when I have those moments that I am not acting like a child of God, then this is what I'm going to go back and say to myself. There's nothing mean or little in me. That I'm part of that greater whole. That I am part of that all good. That I am a child of God. As I lift high the chalice of my hope and faith, I know that it will overflow. That everything I do will be blessed. That every good I seek will be expressed through me. That chalice of hope and faith. Everything that I do, everything that we do, for it to be blessed, we want to do it in the nature of God. And that is a wide channel there. It is not a narrow, it's not a narrow channel. That is joy, that is hope, that is love, that is creativity, that is unity, not uniformity, unity. That's so when we embody those qualities of God, then everything we do is blessed. It's as easy as that. And there's nothing we have to do other than follow the qualities of God to be blessed. We don't have to ask for it. When we live from who we really are, children of God, qualities of God, we're blessed. And we become blessings. When you meet that person and you look in their eyes and you see God looking back at them, and you interact in that way, then you are a blessing to that person, whether they recognize it or not. Everyone I meet will proclaim that God is expressing through all humanity and rejoicing in that which he does. That's the world we're working for, where we can look in each other's eyes and ignore the outer and see the inner, and then celebrate the outer. It is unity in multiplicity. It is the infinite variation of the one. Ye shall eat your bread to the full and dwell in your land safely. That's what Leviticus has to say about our right to self-expression. Our mission today, should we choose to accept it, and I'm quite sure you already heard it. One is to express ourselves with joy and enthusiasm. But two, to look more deeply into the heart of all people. To look for the God within. To look for the Spirit within. To look for that divine spark, that divine splinter. That which animates us, that amazing source from which we all come and to which we will all go. And to be the blessing that we are all the time. All right, it's Monday. I'm going to go to work. But I'm going to encourage you to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself. Because she just popped in as I decided to start saying that. Every day. The more you practice loving, kind compassion on yourself, the more you will have for everybody else, including that annoying cat who needs his meds. Which is not this one, by the way. This one is ridiculously healthy. And she is the very definition of loving, kind, and compassionate. She cuddles with her sister and her brother and me and Tom, and she is just a wonderful little love bug. And she's the one when sometimes you just need to go hug a four-legged with fur. She is the one. She's the one. She loves being held. So this is my loving, kind, and compassionate. I don't know if you can hear that purr. But she's a good girl. She is. All right. Please do something to engage your mind and your body today. Drink plenty of water. Hydrate. It's good for you. If it's sunny where you are, please get a little bit of sun. Early morning sun on your face. I'm not talking more than 10 minutes. But just that, it can change the way you feel. And engaging your mind and your body. That is a short walk. Or a long walk. Or a run. Whatever. Whatever it is. It will up your creativity. That's science. All right, beloveds. Open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you that you do live in heaven now. Always and forever. That is our state of grace. And that is our state of grace because we are beloved children of God, in whom spirit is well pleased always and forever. All right, beloveds. You have the right to self-expression. Express the God within. And then you truly will be a blessing. All right. I see the litmus monster has started. Do what you need to do, including hugging your four-leggeds with fur, to make it a wonderful day, beloveds. All right? Do know that you are loved.